Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Out of Bounds. We're here today with our Apostle Lewis Henderson Jr., and today we have a topic. It is, why is it so difficult being who God has called us to be? And as we delve further into the conversation, then we'll discuss, why is it difficult being a leader after God has told us who we are called to be? So on today, Apostle, what is the first thing you would say is what caused the difficulty in being who God called us to be?
Well, hello, first of all. Next, the number one thing is we have eyes in front of us. And we always see the thing in front of us. And when we see things in front of us, we want to emulate it or be just like it. We never look within us. Now, when you become more mature and more seasoned, you start looking within yourself instead of looking out, because what's out there is not necessarily you. And so you have to get an understanding what God intended for you to do and your purpose for being here on earth, because all of us have a different DNA that means destiny. And so that's the first thing. You have to look within yourself. And sometimes people don't like themselves or feel that they are less than, because if you grow up in a house that you look across the street, or you look at other people that have on finer clothes, their parents driving nice cars, or they have the jewelry, they have everything, and you looking at them, and then you look back at the situation or the condition you in, you want to escape instead of embracing who you are, because the presidents are big corporations and different things like that. Famous people come from a small beginning, and they don't understand, just like all these different ball players and different things like that. They didn't know how great they was in certain areas. And then you look at their home life, it was dysfunctional. Like LeBron James grew up in the projects, okay? And his mother raised him and different things like that. Now, who would ever thought that he was going to be a billionaire? Now he's second to Michael Jordan. So now he's a billionaire, and he never would have thought that he would reach that status. But he was one person that didn't like his situation or his condition, because he always looked it out and see what's out there in front of him. But then other coaches and other mentors got him to see what was inside of him. And so when he did that, he became greater than himself.
And I know a lot of people ask this question, and I've asked this question of myself before. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Because you grow up, you get the education your parents tell you to get, you start working, you start living your life. But then you say, I don't really know, what is it that God called me to do? How do you find that out?
Well, the same answer. Okay, understand, everyone that's walking on the face of this earth is unique. God never makes two people identical or alike. You can have kids, and every one of them is totally different. Every one of them, one could go around being who they supposed to be. One of them will be trying to take the straight path, who they supposed to be. One will have a roller coaster experience, who they supposed to be. But every experience that they experience brings about knowledge of who they are. So situation and condition will bring out the person inside of you. So I never see a person say, well, I'm smarter than you. I never look at that because every time I had a cousin, and I mean, he got straight A's, he did this, he did that, went to the schools and different things like that. But then he had a nervous breakdown. But I remember his brother was always getting in trouble, always doing the wrong thing and everything else. Then after a while in his life, it turned around. And he was his so-called genius brother, he was his strength. Because his brother knew that I can fall and get back up. I got experience of falling and getting back up. So now he began to be a mentor to his older brother, and then he helped him to develop ways and different things. So you never count a person out because you don't know when they're gonna become who God want them to become, but you judge. God say, man, look on the outside. And then God say, but he looks on the heart. And so that's the difference. When you need to become and you gonna become who God called you to be, and what you want God, what you need to know about yourself, trials and tribulations and persecution in life itself will bring out the true you.
That is so true. And I remember when I found out what I'm supposed to be doing. Like you said, life, as you travel this world, it will kind of mold you and shape you into who God called you to be. So nothing is wasted that we go through.
Right.
But sometimes this is what I feel trips us up. If you tell someone, say, oh, God called you to be a pastor, then the next day they think, oh, I'm supposed to be preaching, I'm supposed to be starting a church. So it's always a process and it's always steps to this thing. So can you explain that to us?
The process is your mentor, okay? Now, your mentor don't experience everything that you're going to experience. Most likely and always, they was there first. They experienced things first. And that's why they can see it in you. They can recognize themselves in you. And then, but because you still struggling with you, but they have mastered themselves now. And so now as they coming up and then you coming up, then they look and they looking at a common copy of themselves. The same struggle, the same, everything. And so that's why God give them to mentor you, to help you through those trials and error. Because sometimes things take you so far out the way that you don't want to even try anymore. But if you have a mentor, it's much easier. Everybody that you're going to be somebody, you should have somebody that can speak to you and to help guide you, and you'll know, because they don't want anything from you. All they want is the best for you. So and then if you be called, say you called to be a preacher, the first thing is, okay, I would tell a preacher all the things that you're going to go through, the downfalls that you're going through, because they see the glamour and the glitter, but they don't see the pain and the traps and, the different situations that is not visible to them. And then when they start experiencing the things that's not visible to them, then that's when they give up, they fall, because a lot of preachers leaving the pulpit and a lot of preachers leaving churches and everything else because they didn't see this, but they needed a mentor. They needed someone to guide them and everything. People gonna be in business. You need a mentor. If you're a man, you're gonna need a mentor. If you're a woman, you're gonna need a mentor. You're gonna be a mother. You raising children. You're gonna need a mentor. Everybody that's walking on the face of the earth, if you gonna succeed in any area, you're gonna need a mentor. It says a fool despises instruction. So a fool that despises, and that's the first thing you're gonna do. You're gonna start despising the one that's supposed to be your mentor. How I know? Because every mentor I had, I didn't like them. Okay? But when they helped me to become who I got supposed to be, I loved them. I went beyond like. I loved them, and then nobody else can be like them.
So I see that is why you always tell us you don't try to be like, because you yourself is a mentor.
Right.
But myself being a mentee in life,
Mentee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been mentored.
Okay.
And you yourself being a mentor in life,
Right.
like you said, the first thing you're going to do is despise the one that is here to help you. Now, what are some of the difficulties here? This is what we're talking about that hinders us when we're being mentored. What are some of the difficulties that the mentor faces with us personally in giving us instructions?
Okay. Anybody that I mentor, and sometimes you can't tell them I'm your mentor. Okay, that's number one. They headed one way. They headed. Okay, they headed. That means they got a picture, and they have a vision of where they think they want to go and what they're supposed to do, how to get there. Okay. Now, that mentor is going to try to deter them from falling in a ditch, from being in depressed, sorrow, and everything else. So that mentor have to steer them. And most of the time, when you're young, you don't want to be steered. Okay, you don't got out of your mama house. You don't got out of your daddy house, and you tired of people telling you what to do. You tired of people doing this and all this kind of stuff like that. But that mentor understands that when he messed up or she messed up is at the point that they needed someone to steer them. Just like a lot of people go to college. Okay? A lot of people go to college and they don't understand. Okay, that's high learning. But, okay, they joining sororities, they going to the parties, they going to everything else. But, okay, so who's steering them? Who's guiding them? Because once you get there, okay, if you failing, you ain't used to failing. You failing now because you're going higher. So now that person gonna be on the dean list, and the dean list, okay, there's a good part of the dean list, and there's a bad part of the dean list. Because the dean, when you see the dean, either he's gonna reward you or he's gonna send you home or put you on probation. A lot of them do that. Okay? When I was in the Coast Guard, it was the same thing. Everywhere I went, it was the same thing. But thank God, everywhere I went, I had a mentor. When I was in the Coast Guard, they say, young man, I had a black master sergeant say, look, young man, stay away from this, stay away from that. Don't believe everything that they say. Okay? You got any question, come to me. Okay? Then he had to get on me one day. Okay? And I didn't like it. He had to get on me, and he said that, look, you got to be on time and you got to be prepared before the time. If you're not prepared before the time, you are not going to be successful. Okay? Now stop it. This is how he talked to me. Okay? Because he got his job to do, right? And he's preventing me from messing up doing what I need to do. So he can't just be so look gentle and everybody else. And then, because I was hardcore. And if you hardcore, God ain't gonna give you no teddy bear to be your mentor. He go and if you like it straight, you need somebody straight. He ain't gonna give you no mentor that's gonna go around the corner. No, he's gonna give it to you hardcore, gonna give you the straight, because that's the way you perform. That's the way you listen to him. Most mentors, anytime you have a mentor, you're gonna get angry with him. You're gonna get mad with him. You're gonna get upset with him. And then you don't understand why they always trying to tell you what to do, because there was a sign to you, and they see something in you that they don't want you to mess it up. And I think if you look at Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx won an Oscar. Okay, when he played Ray Charles. Okay, Jamie Foxx went out there celebrating. He said, "I want to celebrate," and he got drunk. He was all out in the public and everything else. So all the ones that was up tier, Oprah Winfrey, I forget her name, she passed.
Maya
Angelou, all the different, Sidney Poitier, all the different ones, they met and called him, and they told him off. Every one of them told him off because he don't understand that he was representing them now and representing some black boy that's seeing and opening doors and everything else. And so now Jamie Foxx is all over everywhere, and he's succeeding in a great way. But people don't see the mentors he had, the people that gave him instruction. If a person, you show me a person don't have a mentor, and I show you a fool.
Now, is it everyone for you to mentor? Say a young man or a young woman come to you and say, Apostle, I need a mentor. Would you mentor me? Is everyone for you to mentor?
No, because first of all, a mentor understands you. She or he understand you more than yourself. And when they start seeing you, they understand, okay, I'm supposed to give that person a part of me. You can't give everybody a part of you because they'll despise that. Okay? When you're supposed to be that person mentor, no matter how and what they feel, you have a drive towards them, because you don't want them to fail. Because if they fail, you fail too.
So you're saying pretty much that God will put in your path who he wants to mentor you. Right.
He'll put in your path. So like I had about 5 or 6 different mentors. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, a mentor is not done with you until they pass away. Mm-hmm. My school teacher, okay, when I was in school, grade school, okay, I used to get in trouble all the time. I used to fight all the time because I was angry. And I just fight after school, before school, and everything else. Okay, and she was a black lady from Georgia, tough. And I mean, she was real tough. And I seen her flip a boy across the room. And she got my attention because I knew she can whoop me. Right, but she don't graduated from different colleges, and she had a home, she had everything, the car, she had all of it, but she had a love for black males. And she said, I see it in you, and I ain't gonna let you fail. Okay? She followed me when I got out of her class, and then I went to a higher grade, and I thought I was done with her. She came when I went back to doing what I was doing, because some people, we go back there, and because we ain't got to deal with this person no more. And when I went back there and started fighting again, getting in trouble again, she came to my classroom. She said, get all your stuff, mister. Pack it up and follow me. So I'm back in her class again. She taught 4th grade, but I went to the 5th grade. Now I'm in a 4th grade class doing 5th grade work. So she helped save my life. So then when I went to the 6th grade, when you go to middle school, okay, she ain't at your school no more. First day, she met me at the middle school. She wasn't at her school on opening day. She was at my school on opening day, and she told me, see, I don't seen every one of your teachers. I gave them my number, and they have any problem out of you, mister, they gonna call me. So I say, Lord. So then I got in a habit of doing what I was supposed to do. I became an honor roll student. I didn't get in trouble, and it became a habit to me. And then that habit took me all the way through college and everything else. So she helped save my life. Then I had a mentor, a man, Bishop Scunya. Then I had, before Bishop Scunya, Edmund Lee Hicks. He was my pastor. Okay, they didn't let me miss church. They ain't let me come in late. He taught me the word. He taught me everything concerning about church and everything else, how to be faithful, how to be on time, and everything else. Well, when I started opening business and stuff, I was already disciplined. See, when you going to be somebody and you're not disciplined, then how you gonna be successful? So he taught me how to be disciplined. Then Bishop laid out the church world to me. Okay, I had all these different mentors, but my mother, she made sure that I stayed from out of the streets, because I grew up in 2 projects, out of the streets and everything. She said, God say you were different. So I had mentors all my life. I had women mentors, I had men's mentors, and so at every point, and then even I had a business mentor. So I had mentors all my life.
Now, I'm laying this scenario out for you because it's true, and this is what people experience. Some people might say, you don't understand how hard it is being a black man in America, the difficulty in trying to get through those doors, and I really want to be who God want to be. You have women who say, I have to work, I have the children, I have school. These things are real life happening to people. And since you're an apostle, you've experienced all this. So when someone comes to you and lays all this in front of you and said, this is my hindrance towards being who God called me to be, what do you say to that?
You always gonna find a stumbling block, okay? That's the hinder. You're gonna find a stumbling block. But if that mentor overcame that, okay, they showing you how to overcome. Anything, my school teacher taught me this. She said, if anything worth having, it's worth overcoming. So I had to overcome all of my stumbling blocks, but I didn't overcome it by myself. I overcame it with them. Okay, racial barriers. Okay, now she's a 25 at the time, 25-year-old black woman, educated black woman, teaching in a predominant white school. Okay, you didn't think she had no stumbling blocks?
Yeah.
She had plenty of stumbling blocks. She done went to college. She done got a degree and everything. And then she being a woman. So she had plenty, a black woman. So she had plenty stumbling blocks. She showed me how to overcome those stumbling blocks. So then I had a pastor, had a business and everything else and stuff like that. He had all kinds of certain situations, but he showed me how to go beyond the stumbling blocks. Okay, I had a mother, okay, had 7 kids living in the projects. Okay, she showed me every day how to overcome, that I don't have to be a thief. I don't have to sell drugs. I don't have to do illegal things to be successful. Always treat people right, be honest, and be true to yourself. So I was taught all my life to overcome stumbling blocks. And so understand, if they made it through, they telling you the road how to come. But once again, the reason why they coming and saying that, complaining about their stumbling blocks, because they really don't want to listen to the instruction. Okay? And again, it says a fool despises instruction. Okay? Even when I'm pastoring and everything else, I'm seeing who listening. I'm seeing who receiving it. Okay? But then when one say, oh, he don't like me, he don't this, and it's not based on like or dislike. It's based on how well you can listen.
And so that is a great point that you brought out. So to those who don't have a mentor and is kind of doing this thing on their own and powering through it, and you're saying that we need one to make it through these days, what would your advice be to the first step? Do they look within themselves, who have encountered in this life? Who is God prepared to help me? How do they go about finding a mentor?
One thing about it, a mentor will find you. Okay? A mentor always will find you. Your father can be your mentor. You don't know. Your mother can be your mentor. You don't know. Older brother, older sister can be a mentor. A co-worker can be a mentor. So many people can be mentors, but you're not used to taking instruction. Okay? You're not used to it. And when you're not used to taking instruction, a person could be trying to talk to you, trying to give you instruction, trying to help you, and you just brush them off, fan them off. Okay? And all the time that mentor is around you. I guarantee if a person look today, they're struggling. They look today, they look around you. Who's always trying to advise you? Who always wants you to see you successful? That's your mentor. I guarantee everybody that come in this world, they have a mentor. Whether you receive them or not, that's on you. Okay? That's on you.
Now that brings me into my final question, because someone can say to you, okay, I'm a man like you a man. Just like you said, sometimes we despise instruction. I put my pants on, I pay my bills, who you tell you what to do. A woman can say the same thing, So what is the difficulty you find as a leader when instructing or we can say being a mentor, but instructing, period? What's the difficulty that you come across?
Instructing someone? Mm-hmm. The difficult I come, most people today, they have a dysfunction, they come from a dysfunctional home. Okay? It can be they can have the daddy there, they can have the mother there, but it's dysfunctional. Okay? Sometimes they come from a single parent home. Okay? Sometimes things happen in their life. They don't been molested. They don't been mistreated. The parents showing favoritism to another child. And don't recognize recognize them. So it's so many different things that they face early in life. They develop a wall. They develop a wall and say, okay, I'm gonna fight against this, I'm gonna fight against that, I'm gonna fight against this. So my difficult is when they come into those doors in the church and sit before you, I know everybody there has a past. And everybody there have a problem. And see, pastors these days time, I don't know if they realize it or not. Every time somebody show up in church, they bringing problems and they bringing issues. I don't care how they look on the outside, what's going on the inside. So every Sunday, every Wednesday, every whatever day we meet, I know we gonna meet a challenge in their life. But the hardest thing is for them to release it. So I have to learn them. It's just like any other, when you're in the school, everybody learn different. You know, when you went to school, some of them are a visual learner, some of them are audio learner, some is a one-on-one learner. So everybody learn different, but they can learn. So as a leader, you have to have developed the skills of not looking on the mass, okay? You have to look into the life and into the heart, into the spirit of that person for you to be able to help them. Every one of them deserve help. If they come, they deserve help. Some of them stubborn, okay? I grew up with some sisters that were stubborn. And my mother got down with them. Some of them was easy and gentle, okay? Some of them will break down if she holler at them, okay? She knew to speak soft, hard to this one. She knew to speak soft to this one, okay? Because none of your children is alike. None of the people that in the church is alike. Everybody is different. So if you're going to be their mentor and to get things across to them, you got to learn them.
Very good advice. And so, sometimes in life we travel such a long road, like you said. And by the time we get to our mentors, or we can even say our pastors, we have 25, 30 years
right
of pain that we've been holding all this time.
Right.
And then you come and say, it could be the simplest thing. You said, well, you don't walk across there. Well, I've been walking across there all my life. It's such a difficult thing to penetrate because we figure we need these things to safeguard ourselves. So how do you develop that patience to get through to us?
Okay. Like you have 25 years of being damaged. Okay? That's what it boiled down to. Okay, you being damaged mentally, okay, some kind of way. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, children, okay, careers, okay, finances, okay, bills, all kinds of different things mess you up and damage you mentally. Because I always say, if you can't go no further than your spirit takes you, that's your mental state, okay? So I make sure to try to minister to the whole person and to penetrate that whole person. But the best thing for a person, if they want their life to change, give your life over to someone that didn't waste their life, okay? Just like you a mother, so when you was coming up, it'd have been so easy for you to get with a mother, okay, that has experience, and her children came out successful. Then you can ask that mother, what did you do? Okay. Then that mother will tell you something that you don't even know. This child over here gave me the worst thing in the world, but he's the most successful. What did you have to do for that child? I stayed on him. I stayed on him. I stayed on him. So, okay. So you getting an advice. The most intelligent child gonna challenge you. Okay. The most intelligent member or saint is gonna challenge you. So you got to be well-rounded yourself. Okay, you got to be well-rounded. Everybody in ministry gonna challenge you. You know, I one day I was in there, and then I seen some people come to my office, and they brought their laptop and different things like that, and they was telling me that they was eventually telling me that I don't know what I was doing. Okay, and so I laughed, and then now I'm giving them advice. They accepting advice from me. Okay, so the most intelligent, and we call intelligent, because you can be so intelligent you're dumb, because you can hurt yourself. You can actually do more damage to yourself than anybody else can do.
That's right.
So it's best to surrender yourself over to a mentor. And so when you surrender yourself to him, any questions you have, any problems you have, any situation rise up, talk to him about it. My former bishop that passed away, I used to go to his house every morning. They sit at the table, eat breakfast and everything else, and I would just sit there, and then sometimes I don't say nothing. And he'll tell me the very thing that I was going through. And so I presented myself to him. I surrendered myself over to him. And so when I did that, it made life and pastoring a lot easier.
So you heard it here. What helped you to overcome the difficulties in being who God called you to be? You need a mentor. You need to surrender to that mentor. You need to follow the instructions that are given to you. And then one of the most important things that I heard you say that was part of my difficulty, surrendering the pain so you can penetrate and get us to open up to be who God called us to be. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. We've been here with our wonderful Apostle Lewis Henderson Jr. Great advice, great instructions, and we thank you again. Don't forget to visit us on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. for Sunday morning worship. We're at 1416 West 30th Street here in Orlando, Florida. And as usual, we thank you for watching. Goodbye.